My fiancé let his leech of a mother attach to our relationship until it died, so I made sure she'd stay latched to him forever. My ex had an umbilical cord that doubled as a shock collar whenever mommy called, and I don't mean that in a cute, he loves his mom way. I mean it like if she sneezed an hour away, he'd drive there with a box of tissues. When we first started dating, I thought it was sweet. He'd pause mid-dinner to take her calls, drop everything when she needed groceries, let her decide which apartment we should rent. Red flags? Sure. But I was in love and convinced I could handle a little mother-in-law drama. Life was good for about 18 months. We had our 2-bedroom apartment where I paid 2/3 since I used the spare room as my home office, and he paid 1/3 with his MBA salary. I worked tech consulting from home while he commuted downtown. Then May arrived with a phone call that changed everything. His mom announced she was moving to our city to be closer to my baby. She just needed to crash with us for the summer while job hunting for teaching positions. 3 months maximum, she promised. So I packed up my entire office and squeezed it into our bedroom corner to make space for her, because that's what family does, right? Well, June and July passed without a single job application. By August, the interruptions began. Knocking during client calls to ask about coffee filters, then walking in without knocking to critique my unprofessional work attire. By December, she'd reorganized my kitchen, trashed my meal prep containers, hijacked my Netflix account, and lectured nightly about career women being terrible mothers. By January, she demanded daily rides everywhere because city driving stressed her out. Each month, her control expanded like a toxic spill. The money situation made me see red. She'd won the house in the divorce but refused to sell it because that's my security. Instead, she'd call her ex-husband for money every month, claiming emergencies that somehow always equaled exactly what she needed for shopping trips. 8 months of free everything because she was cash poor. When I suggested splitting rent 3 ways, she acted like I'd asked for a kidney, but my fiancé just shrugged it off with his standard response. She's my mom, what can I do? Then one day she texted demanding I come home to discuss my financial irresponsibility. I found her at my kitchen table informing me she'd loaned my son money for rent, so I better start cleaning more and adjusting my attitude. Same toxic energy wrapped in a new complaint. I smiled through her lecture, nodded at the right moments, then escaped to my room telling myself summer would bring teaching jobs and end this nightmare. Just a few more months. But everything changed 2 days later when I woke up to a Facebook message request from someone named Gary, her ex-husband. My hands shook as I read, she's done this to all his girlfriends. Moves in, destroys them, convinces Tom they weren't good enough. I pay her monthly because she's got dirt from our marriage. Get out now. I sat in bed, phone trembling in my hands. This wasn't about money or housing. This was a serial relationship killer, and my spineless fiancé had no idea, but I did now. I'd begged him for months to set boundaries, and he always chose her. So I finally chose myself. I spent 2 weeks studying our lease agreement and preparing the perfect trap. The renewal paperwork came in early February, and I noticed something beautiful. There were 2 versions in the portal, joint renewal and individual renewal. I printed the solo renewal with only his name. Hey babe, the lease renewal came, I said one evening, sliding the papers across the table while he watched TV. Just needs your signature here and here. He glanced at it for maybe 2 seconds, saw the familiar apartment address and $2,400 monthly amount, then scrawled his name without reading. Thanks, Han, he muttered, eyes already back on the screen. His mother chimed in from the couch about how I should handle all the domestic paperwork anyway. I agreed with a smile. I submitted it to the office the next morning. Then for the next 2 weeks, I moved my life out box by box while he binged old Survivor seasons with his mother. Just donating old clothes, I'd say, carrying another load past their glazed eyes. They never looked up from tribal councils to notice my closet emptying or my desk disappearing. By Friday evening, only my essentials remained. The next day, I dropped the bomb. I'm leaving, I announced, keys in hand. Moving out tonight. He actually laughed until he saw the empty bedroom behind me. His mother immediately started negotiating, offering to find us a bigger place if I covered the difference. When they realized I was serious, her mask slipped. Selfish little bitch, she hissed. I smiled calmly. Your ex-husband warned me. This is what you do. Drive every woman away so you can keep him to yourself. Well, congratulations. You win. He's all yours. I watched the triumph flicker across her face before I delivered the final blow. Oh, and that lease renewal you signed last week? That was just in your name. You're locked in solo until next March. Good luck affording $2,400 a month. The unauthorized tenant report I filed should arrive Monday. The color drained from both their faces as I walked out, leaving them to figure out how she'd destroy his credit or drain her savings. 6 months later, they're still trapped in that apartment, bleeding money they don't have, prisoners of a lease and each other. She got exactly what she wanted. Her baby boy all to herself. Too bad she can't afford him.